Hello, everybody, and welcome to our masterclass. And we will talk about your metabolism today and why your metabolism is not broken. First, welcome everyone. My name's Barbara Burke. I am a sports scientist. I also studied nutrition, and I am a mindset coach and a coach in general. And I work with women 40 plus on thriving through perimenopause and beyond. So, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, as well as focus on healthy longevity, meaning we are taking care of healthy longevity, not just longevity. Because, yes, women are getting older, but we are not getting older in healthier ways. So, what we are after is to feel better now and keep that up for the rest of our lives. My business is called Optimum You, and that doesn't mean crazy self optimization. It means being the optimum you. So, whatever you need and whatever supports you and whatever fits into your day is the optimal healthy habits that I will help you build. And I'm here to help you identify issues. I identify deeper topics to talk about. So I do personal coaching. If you're interested in that, please just email me and I'm happy to set up a quick call where we can get to know each other and talk about coaching options. Also, I have a few courses to support you in building healthy habits that support you through perimenopause, postmenopause, and beyond. And I also do talks. So, yeah, that's me. And I'm excited to talk to you about your midlife metabolism today. So, who here feels more tired than at 30? Just type it in the chat and I'll take a look. Oh, yes, you all do. Oh, Miriam says she doesn't. Okay, you don't. Good for you. You probably have figured out a lot of things already. Um, Anyway, no matter what status you're at, after the next 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes, we'll see, you will know a lot more about how to support yourself to feel your best, to have high energy and humming metabolism. So let's talk about why your metabolism is broken or feels broken currently. So the hormonal storm after 40, right? After 35, 40, hormones are starting to get out of balance. And you probably have heard a lot about perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. So in perimenopause, progesterone starts going down, and then estrogen starts going out down a bit later. And by postmenopause, both are basically at a low level. And that has a lot of effects on our body. And with regards to the estrogen decline, the things that really impact our metabolism are number one, muscle. So there's just a recent study from actually 2025 that hammers home the fact of how much muscle is affected by estrogen decline. So muscle building ability basically goes down. Also big impact on insulin resistance. So the whole blood sugar regulation topic gets harder, and we get less efficient in terms of how we take care of blood sugar. And we basically go into direction of insulin resistance, which means that our cells basically get deaf towards insulin and blood sugar doesn't get cleaned up properly. Then also chronic inflammation is on the rise. So current research indicates that inflammatory markers rise by 40%, which is really a lot and causes a lot of issues. So the three metabolic domino effects that we have is number one, muscle loss. Let's talk about that a bit more. So from age 35, we start losing muscle. It's about 3 to 8% muscle mass per decade. But during perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, this gets sped up significantly. So we lose significantly more muscle. which is a problem. You know, in terms of metabolism, muscle is metabolically active tissue, right? So it uses a lot and it burns a lot. It also has a bunch of health benefits from keeping you upright and pain-free and moving well and stable. It also really, really impacts overall health. We'll talk about that a bit later. And also bone density and your pelvic floor health and all of those things. And with regards to muscle, it's important to know use it or lose it, right? So we do have to use it. Domino 2. So domino number 1 was muscle loss. Domino number 2, insulin resistance, like I talked about. Estrogen helps with glucose uptake, and without estrogen, your cells become deaf to insulin. And that poses a big problem health wise, but also belly fat. Belly fat is something that gets accumulated the more you gravitate towards insulin resistance. Domino number 3 is chronic inflammation. We call it inflammaging. So, aging through inflammation is something that's happening and that you can see on the cellular level how, through this ongoing chronic inflammation, it's not the healthy acute inflammatory response that you have when you hit yourself somewhere and you get like a red swelling. That's an active inflammation. That's a healthy immune response, right? But chronic inflammation is hidden kind of inflammation that is like beneath the surface and destroying and eating away at tissues and at processes with that, right? So it's a negative thing in your body. And latest research shows that all chronic disease and like long-term health issues are connected in one way or another to chronic inflammation. So definitely a topic we need to get on top of. And the latest research also shows that myokines are anti-aging molecules, and myokines are hormone-like substances that get released when muscle is active. So there you go. Muscle works against chronic inflammation and against insulin resistance, right? So the big connection here, of course, is all of this disrupts your metabolism. And we're talking about metabolic health and about a humming metabolism today. So, muscle loss, the tendency towards insulin resistance, and domino number 3, chronic inflammation, all are negative for your metabolism. There's a bunch of other dominoes or pieces that affect your metabolism and that get impacted by hormones. But I don't want to deep dive on those, not to get confusing here. But just to mention a few things, mitochondrial dysfunction can happen with hormones declining. Bone loss, obviously, we know that. We talk about that a lot, and that impacts your ability to move and your activity level. You kind of get thrown into neurotransmitter chaos, which impacts motivation and drive, which can keep you from moving, which impacts your metabolism. So, focused on metabolism, also satiety hormones get impacted by hormones declining. So, everything really is interconnected. But here's the good news: when we address the three main dominoes we talked about, the muscle, the insulin resistance, and the chronic inflammation, the others improve automatically. So, to quickly level set, all of this is not your fault. It's not that you're lazy or doing something wrong. You're simply in a challenging stage of our life. And I am here to support you to own this stage of our life and to take charge and control as much as we can in terms of the healthy habits and the things we can do to support our bodies with lifestyle, with supplements, with all of those pieces. I can help you put a targeted plan together for you that supports you. So it's not your fault. Your body follows biological laws. And the good news is you can reverse these processes. So let's talk about the solution. It's a three-pillar system. It's a three-pillar metabolism reset system. The first pillar, as you can imagine, because muscle is such a big part, and you've probably heard it everywhere, smart strength training. So, strength training is so important for the simple fact that we want to maintain or even add on muscle, right? As I said before, we're losing muscle. We want to work against that. We want to at least stop that tendency, depending on how much muscle you have at this point. And we want to even build muscle. Muscle has so many health benefits. The first big piece that I want to talk about is the myokine revolution. So, myokines, I mentioned quickly before, is basically the muscle acts like an endocrine organ, and myokines are hormone-like substances that get released from active muscle, and they really travel to all your organs and protect them. So there is myokines for brain health, myokines for heart protection, myokines for metabolism repair. Everything you can think of gets impacted by those myokines. So active muscle repairs. Isn't that crazy? Also, why is strength training more beneficial than cardio? Don't get me wrong, cardio still has benefits, especially either low impact and long duration. So, longer things like going for a bike ride, hiking, stuff like that. Walking is always fantastic. And then shorter, intense bursts can also have amazing benefits. But muscle building really has amazing benefits in terms of metabolism. Specifically, there's a 24 to 48 hour afterburn effect. There's a muscle protein synthesis increase, which of course we want and need. And then your insulin resistance can improve up to 25%, which is huge. And the good news is also we don't need to like spend hours and hours in the gym. We can spend 30 minutes 3 times a week and get enough of a stimulus in to build muscle. And I can show you how. I can help you with that. That's what I'm here for. So really, when you do a bunch of squats and when you do push-ups and similar things, it's metabolic medicine amongst many other health benefits, right? Also, of course, it makes you look amazing because muscle eats fat and is sleek and strong and beautiful. So we are building lean muscle and it's amazing. So next, um, I want to talk about metabolism supporting nutrition. So the protein priority is the first topic I want to talk about. So, latest research really says that we need way more protein than has been said in before. So, the latest research indicates 1.2 to 1.6 gram per kilo of body weight for women 40 plus. And that is because we're losing muscle and that is because our protein metabolism doesn't work as smoothly anymore. Because our metabolism, it is slowing down a bit. It's not working as smoothly anymore. So it's not as efficient in metabolizing the protein. And it also simply needs more. We need more to build and to maintain. So protein is an important part of metabolism repair, also because it keeps you satisfied. So it really adds to satiety and to even blood sugar, and with that, to even mood and stability and motivation. So with that, we can talk about blood sugar stability, right? That is metabolic supportive nutrition when we eat in a way that our blood sugar gets supported, and that means balanced plates. Every plate we build, every meal, every snack ideally consists of protein, fiber, complex carbs, healthy fat, lots and lots of color. Another important topic in nutrition is gut health. I don't want to go into depth on this because we're focused on metabolism right now, but it also, of course, gut health also influences everything, influences the inflammation and everything. But let's cover it with eating lots and lots of colors. So part of your balanced plate is protein, fiber, which is awesome for your gut, lots and lots of colors, complex carbs, and healthy fats. And you can keep the additional complex carbs to the plants relatively low, especially for breakfast and lunch. For dinner, you can have a bit more because it helps with sleep. So that's important. Complex carbs for dinner, little bits, really important for good sleep. And then another important piece is anti-inflammatory nutrition. So focusing on anti-inflammatory foods, for example, tons of different colors and healthy fats. Omega-3s are super important. So quick wins in terms of nutrition, to not go into a rabbit hole here and to keep it short and concise for this masterclass. Number one, protein rich. Number two, colorful plates. Number three, omega-3 for inflammatory reduction, for inflammation reduction. Then pillar three, we have recovery and stress management. So pillar one was build muscle. Pillar two was metabolism supporting nutrition. Pillar three is recovery and stress management. Of course, that's a huge topic, but it is an underestimated game changer how much that impacts our metabolism. Because in those hormonally stressful times, stress hormones can really throw an additional problem into our orchestra of hormones, right? Because stress always basically kills everything else because it's most important, because we're running away from the saber-toothed tiger or whatever. So stress is important and the body prioritizes the stress response. So other hormones are not as important. You know, who wants to have children when they are stressed? Nobody. You know what I mean? Like this whole cascade of hormones, stress is priority. So, cortisol, one of the stress hormones that you've probably heard a lot about, I just want to stress by itself, cortisol is not a bad thing. It's a really important hormone and it's important for energy. But what is important is that it's in the right curve. So it starts up in the morning and then goes down over the day. And with chronic stress, it gets out of sync and the curve gets messed up. And that impacts a lot of things, but also belly fat leads to belly fat, since we're talking about metabolism. Then within the stress pillar, sleep deprivation, you have a 30% worse glucose tolerance if you don't sleep well. So sleep is super important for all kinds of things in terms of mood and health and everything, but also glucose tolerance, insulin resistance, and with that, your metabolism. Also, when you don't sleep well, you tend to eat more and you gravitate towards sugar. Okay, and then another important things to keep in mind, recovery is when adaptation happens. So you can do all the strength training in the world. If you don't leave time for recovery, your muscle is not going to be able to grow. So super important pillar. Practical strategies, 7 to 9 hours of sleep should be a non-negotiable. Look at your stress and focus on stress management as much as you can. And make sure to build recovery into your plan. You know, movement is amazing and important, but it doesn't always have to be all out. There can be active recovery, there can be walks, and there can be real rest. So let's talk about 3 game changer habits, because obviously those pillars are really big and there's a lot you can do. But let's start with game changer habit number 1. From now on, from tomorrow on, start your day with a protein-rich breakfast. Let's simply focus on that for now because that sets blood sugar tone for the entire day. Eat 20 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast. Make yourself a protein smoothie with spinach and all kinds of things, but focus on the protein. Eggs with vegetables, Greek yogurt, berries, and nuts, or whatever, but focus on protein first. Game changer habit number 2, start strength training. If you're not doing strength training yet, get started. Start with simple movement snacks like doing a bunch of squats, doing push ups against your kitchen counter or the table or whatever, doing planks here and there, and do that 5 to 10 minutes a few times a day and start building a habit. And then, of course, there's also an offer from me of how I can support you in this, but more on that later. Game changer habit number 3 that you can start tomorrow morning or even tonight is the sleep hack. So focus on good sleep. Whatever is in your way with regards to good sleep, there's, of course, a lot of lifestyle habits you can stack to support better sleep. And by the way, there are studies that show that um, better sleep habits, those sleep hygiene habits, are actually, when you do them consistently, they are more efficient and more successful than sleep medications. So super important. If you want to learn more about that and work on that, I'm happy to support you with that. I have done tons of workshops and done tons of coaching in that topic. So please email me for support for that. But your first habit that you can start tonight is keep your devices away an hour before sleep at least, or put on blue blocking lights. Relax before you go to bed, to do some kind of little bedtime routine like you taught your children, and have your last meal a few hours before bed, but make sure it's a nicely balanced meal like we talked about before, with protein and colors and fiber and some complex carbs. The complex carbs can really make a difference at night. And watch for a regular bedtime and a regular wake up time. That really works wonders. So these are your 3 game changer habits that you can start tonight. Number 1, protein for breakfast. Number 2, you start with some strength training. Number 3, you focus on good sleep. So if you start doing that, I promise you, you will feel better and your energy will get better. And with that, everything will get better. Your blood work will get better. Your energy will get better. Your energy will transform. Your body confidence will transform. All of those things. If that seems overwhelming, I fully understand. If you say you want more and you want support in that, I have a fabulous solution for you. For implementation, I really, really recommend my course, Power and Balance. It's the complete system for women 40 plus. It's a 6-week strength training course with progressive expert guidance, and you can stretch it out from 6 weeks to 8 to 12, however long you want. But it's a 6-week stacked training that you can stretch out over time, repeat over time. And it really works for beginners, but also for advanced strength trainers. I explain it really foundational, and you can also, start with the routines when you already know how to do it. But the routines are specifically put together for women 40 plus. I have our issues in mind, right? I know how it feels. I know that I want to integrate my strength training at home in uncomplicated and quick ways. And that's exactly why I built power, um, power and balance. So, and the best part is strength training triggers a bunch of additional wonderful responses. For example, better sleep. I can't even tell you how many times I hear from my women, I sleep so much better since starting with strength training. And also, it makes you want to eat better because you get better in sync with your body. And there's also a nutrition video in the course to help with that. So over time, all the three dominoes that we just talked about will be addressed, and it can only go up from there. And the good news is, exclusive for Masterclass participants, I'm offering a huge summer special with $100 off, which is crazy because the course is only $347. So you can get it for $247 right now. There will be no live calls, which is perfect for summer. So you're super flexible. You can do the course on your own time. You can always ask questions in the WhatsApp group or via email. So you have support, and it's perfect timing now to start your transformation. You have to act fast for the bonus for the $100 off, though. That expires July 1st. So please sign up quickly. This is an amazing offer that I don't do at other times in the year. So in terms of, you thinking, oh, I have all kinds of reasons of why I don't want to do that and can't do that, I can only tell you, please do this for yourself. Do this for yourself. You will not regret it. Don't doubt and don't question too much. Muscle is the game changer in our stage of life, and it will also kickstart all the other pieces like sleep, recovery, the importance of that, nutrition, the importance of that. And in addition to power and balance, I can, of course, always support you with personalized coaching. So please send an email if you need support. I can support in all kinds of ways. We can go deep into gut health. We can go deep into strength building and support with that, all the different topics. So please be in touch. But for now, sign up for Power and Balance Summer School. I will share the links in the follow-up emails. If you go to my website and find the Power and Balance course, you can also type in the code Summer School at checkout for the crazy discount. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your attention, and thank you for being here today. It was wonderful to see so many of you, and everybody who's watching the recording. I'm glad you're watching the recording, and I hope to hear from you with any questions. Please be in touch. All my best. I will stop the recording now.